Hello and welcome. How you going? Campbell here with Lorenzo, back for another live chat with everyone. And today we are going to talk about the lie of AI. Obviously, AI has been pretty prominent in the news lately, right? Like it came in last year, and this is the thing. It really only came in what 6, 8 months ago, and it's very quickly taking over everything by the looks of it. So yeah, the live AI. How you going, Lorenzo?
I'm doing well. I mean, it's really important. I think people start to understand even what AI is, what is artificial, what is intelligence. People jump to some conclusions pretty quickly when, somebody in authority says, well, AI is doing this for you, or AI is doing that for you, or, suddenly AI is going to control your bank or your driver's license or what the government says and all of these things. And people really haven't given a consideration as to what they're being told, why they're being told it, what's really going on behind the scenes of the intent of who is sharing AI and what it really means. And I would say I'm going to put the proposal forward on this one. Why we're calling this one the lie of AI is intelligence cannot be artificial, right? It doesn't have to be human, doesn't have to be physical, it doesn't have to be it's carbon based. This is all my opinion, of course, but literally intelligence is not artificial. It's either intelligent or it's not. And if it's intelligent, there is an intelligence behind it, which means somehow it's alive and has life and consciousness.
Mm, yes, yeah. Well, I saw something yesterday, and they were talking about the difference between sentience and consciousness. And conscious sentience can have like information and can sort of make decisions, I guess, but it doesn't know it's alive, right? For something to know it's alive and to be intelligent, I'm guessing that means you can make decisions. You got to be alive. Um, yeah, this is like where does this come from? Like, I guess the question is how long has AI been here, right? Like we're being told this is a new thing. They've just come up with it. It's going to run everything now. Blah blah blah. But is that the truth? Has there always been some kind of AI? Behind the scenes, right? We all hear about the black goo and about other things that might be in pricks in arms. So what is AI? Like how old is it? And yeah, was it created? This is the question, I guess. If intelligence is something that, well, sentient, no, not sentience, but awareness, if that can't be created, then that means that AI has been here the whole time, right?
Yeah, like Old World Underworld says that we are being distracted. I mean, AI really stands for the all-seeing eye. They always put it in your face. The powers that be really laugh at what's going on by making it very obvious. Could be the alien eye, but it's been here forever, right? The eye's been on the dollar bill since the United States has been around, right? It was the first thing they put at the top of the pyramid, right? So suddenly it's
Mm,
new, suddenly it's here. I don't know about, it's probably been around since they had religion even before that. It's simply an intelligence that does not have our best interest at heart. That's obvious. If you look at the world and you see the laws and the rules and how they are moving things towards a one world government, that's what they want to do, anyways. Doesn't mean that's what we have to do, but it is something that's been there since I've been born. Like I said, you look on the dollar bill; it's been there, and you see all the so-called celebrities with their one eye bullshit, and all the musicians that do it all the time, and all the covering up, and all the people that are in power or in influence, and they're showing you that intelligence, I would say again, non-human, has been there since the very beginning. And by non-human, if you talk to anyone that's human, that is human, that has their heart working, has some light in their eyes, is not going to want to do something that harms a billion people. Is not going to want to start a war. They're not going to want to kill all the chickens so you can't eat. They're not going to want to put, the weird aborted fetal cells into your arm to make you healthy. They're not going to want to put masks on your babies to make you safe, etc. You're not going to want to put, poison fluoride in your water to help your teeth, which doesn't work. Like all of these things, you're not going to want to spray aluminum in the sky to block the sun. I mean, these are all crazy, retarded ideas, and anybody with half a brain realizes it's not for your benefit or for your health, but it is controlled. It is intelligent. It does have a direction. It's been going on since I've been born. I've been watching it slowly moving in this direction. It's very easy if you use your intelligence to see something's happening and to not, as Campbell said many times, to believe the words that come out of these people's mouths, but to watch the actions of what's going on and to see through the actions where we're going. And, destiny and being able to have far sight is simply a matter of watching patterns move towards something that's already started and where it's going. And I think that's where the intelligence comes. You watch the patterns and you can see where they want us to go. Doesn't mean you have to go there, but that's where your intelligence comes in, to see where you're being pushed or coerced or tricked into, and to go the other way at the very least.
Yeah. And as Chris said, AI might even be the scapegoat, right? Like it's a good wall to hide behind if you're one of these spiritually devoid people who thinks they can rule everyone else. I mean, why not create something and blame it? It's not us. It's the AI. It's the one that wants to do all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. But this is the thing. AI it's the inorganic, right? I think most people would agree that nature, the organic, is God, right? Might even be God, but is at least close to God, or the creation of God, the all, whatever you want to, whatever name you want to use. And so AI is the opposite to that. And that doesn't mean that it wasn't created at the start and has always been part of this realm, whatever it is. It just means it's the opposite, right? It's the antithesis, right? The evil with the D in front of it, right? Like it's the yin and yang. So we have nature and we have non-nature. We have open circuits, the macro circuit of the old world and all the cathedrals and starports like spread across the realm. And now we have micro circuits, right? Like the black scrying mirrors that people walk around staring at all day. And like Lorenzo said, all this stuff is restricting. All the ideas of AI are like 15-minute cities. We'll control everything. We'll social credit score you. You don't need a license. You don't even need a car, right? We'll just make AI taxis and then everyone will be stuck where we want them, basically, right? So this is where I see is AI is the inorganic, or the opposite to the light, right? The opposite to good. And it's also run by electricity, by the way, which is smokeless fire, which is what they say the jinn is. But in the end, it's one thing that we know about, the devil, if we want to put that mark, that name on it, is it's the great deceiver. Like this is literally how it has power. It just deceives. And this is the world we find ourselves in, right? We've got news, we've got movies, we've got songs, we've got social media, we've got education, all this stuff telling us what to believe and telling us where we're going, right? But again, like Lorenzo said, that's not our choice. This is where people want to lead us, and they know that they can only do that if we agree, because when we agree, we create it, right? This is the thing. So this is the problem with looking at the outside world as real, because it's not actually real as far as that. It's just all suggestions, at the least, right? It's all suggestions to make you look outside rather than inside. And obviously you can take that all the way, right, as far as you want to. We're in a video game, who knows? But this is the thing. Yeah, you go.
No, it's all about actions as well. It's like when I've talked with people on the phone and they say nothing you can do, the computer has locked us into this program. Like someone said, it's a scapegoat, and it's true. You'll talk to someone, let's say you have a credit card issue, or you have a phone issue, or you have a payment issue on your cell phone, whatever, and you call them and you say, well, how about this option? How about that option? They'll go, oh, no, sorry, the computer only says, these are two options and there's nothing I can do. And then you can ask them to talk to their boss, because somebody somewhere up the line programmed that computer, right? And and then so somebody made these rules, and as you said, they're using it as a scapegoat. And I think this is where intelligence comes in. So let's say you go all the way up to the top, and this is what I'm using as, let's say, a solution, and they say, sorry, there's no one to talk to, let's say, which has happened to me, or hang up on you, which has happened to me as well, when you go, sorry, there's nobody here, only the AI, call back again another time, click. But the bottom line then is, you don't have to listen to whatever they're suggesting. You don't have to pay that bill. You don't have to follow that rule. You don't have to go where they're saying. It's like if they say, sorry, nothing you can do. The computer is telling you about your life, or everyone hears those voices when they're in the airport, please stay beside the line. It's all AI garbage, and you don't have to listen. I mean, it's just over once you decide for yourself that it's over, regardless of what you're threatened with, right? Regardless of what you might lose, regardless of the fears that go on in your heart. So I think that's where the intelligence comes in, and that artificial AI, there's nothing there, right? It's just, some energy moving through the air. You're some energy moving through the air, as Campbell said, a circuit you turn on and off. And by a circuit, I mean, you just decide where you're going to move your energy, where you're going to move your power. If you don't listen, if nobody listens, eventually, exactly, you listen for magic, listen for the unknown, listen for that bark that said, that's right, that agrees with you in a way. Watch for the magic in this life, and definitely don't comply, as corp fiction says, and see where that takes you, see where that builds you. Well, Campbell's busy. I'm going to like a plug here. Campbell and I are doing an event April 5th and 6th. It's called Controlling the Matrix and Your Superpowers. So we're exactly going to be discussing, the lie of AI indirectly, and how specifically and practically to move yourself to a powerful place in life through the challenges, through the distractions, through what everyone has going on right now, in relation to where you would like to go in your life, in relation to where you would like to be. And there you go.
Yes, sorry, I've got a big, hairy German Shepherd next to me. He's trying to get into all the videos these days, Sherlock. Yes, yes, we're doing an event. Sorry, I missed a lot of that. Come and join us.
And Professor,
yes, so go.
Professor Nato, sir, are your thoughts your own if you're being surrounded by wires? I'm going to guess, to answer that question, I don't think my thoughts are ever my own. I can put an idea up there, but I think when a thought comes in, personally, I think that's the AI. We're energy first and physical second. This is my opinion and what I've discovered from my own life. And when you have those crazy thoughts, you don't have to agree with them. I think that is personally what I've seen, how the AI and the cell phones and all these 5G towers, which they don't need, is working. They're putting all this miasma BS into the air, especially if you watch TV or Netflix or movies or dramas, or especially all those cell phone zomboids that everyone sees all the time, walking around like this with their eyes rolled up to the back of their heads practically. It's obvious that the information is coming from somewhere that's not loving and not human. And, aren't you in a frequency cage? Again, I'm not in any cage. You don't have to be in anything. You control your frequency. If you listen to them, yes, you're living under their frequency, so you're in their cage. If you don't listen, you're not in a frequency cage. I think the importance for all of this is everyone to turn the mic around and look at themselves and see in their hearts and their intuition and their imagination where they would like to go, what they would like to be, how they would like to create. And then the lie of AI is no longer artificial, because you're not artificial, and that you're doing what you wish to do to make your life better.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. Like, I guess we've got to start with, what is this place, right? And to me, it's all energy, and our thoughts are creating everything. And this is really the one little sort of snippet that, if people who wanted to, we can't expect, I don't think, the whole world to change. But if we understand that we're creating our interaction with the world, our experience, then we're going to start looking at ourselves, right? Because that is the way it works. And that's I think is extremely provable just in the fact that they spend so much time, money, and effort in the education system, the music industry, the movie industry, the news. This is all to program us and to get us to focus on what they want us to focus on, and then our thoughts create their reality. But our thoughts should be creating our reality. And then exactly what are thoughts? I think we're just receivers, right? Like, it's happened to me twice in the last week. I've gone, I'm going to make a video about this, and then I see someone else has already done it, like literally the same topic. And this is what happens is when information comes in, it's not, a lot of people can pick up on it, right? And then it's only the ones who do something with it, take action, that actually get an outcome from it, right? So this is the thing. We are the PowerPoint. The outside's just an illusion. It's just there to take us off our path, but it's also there to give us information, right? So that we can hone what we want, what we like, what's important to us. And then once we find that out and we start thinking that way, then everything kind of changes because you have control over your thoughts. You do. You know, it takes a bit of work because obviously we're in the habit of thinking other people's thoughts from our previous life. But you have control of that over that, and you don't have control over the outside world. You don't. And this is provable because go and talk to someone. Everyone wants something to change. They're always telling you this needs to change, this needs to change, this person needs to do this. But if they could control that, then they would just make it happen, right? So clearly we've got to work on the inside world. And AI, this whole AI thing, it's just another narrative. It's really it's us. The more we believe it's real and it's true, then the more real and true it becomes, right? The more influences it has over the outside world.
And
So
by changing the
choice.
low frequency people cannot change the planet. Professor Notos they can change the human dream. It changes a certain humanity in it. But if you go out into nature, if you're in the woods, if you're in the forest, the animals are the same. The birds are the same, in my opinion. Real clouds are the same. Trees are the same. Everything that is not human is not affected by this, I would say, in that our mind, as Campbell said, we're in that gap, we're in that cage. And I would say the cage, someone asked what's out of the box. I would say out of the box is out of your mind, to go into your heart, to get into what you would love to do. And I'm not trying to be woo or new agey here, but it's a matter of creating the life you would like to live in. And hey, Alvar Billy, beyond what you're told is possible, as Campbell said, to see the magic, to see your energy, to see, but again, everyone who has a challenge with this, talk about yourself. AI cannot replicate, whatever. It's like, replicate itself. It's too late. Like, why give up? Why decide that there's only bad things that are coming? Why tell yourself it's horrible and all these things, unless that's the kind of life you want to live. Like, if you want to live the kind of life where it's too late, give up. AI is controlling you and you're dead. That's great. I'm not sure why you're here in this conversation or this chat, but I would think you have to see for yourself, as I have, how to make your life into something you would like to live beyond AI is a tool of humanity. I don't think so. I still don't think so. I think AI is coming from the aliens, my guess, because it doesn't seem very friendly, and it doesn't seem like something that's here for you. It seems like it's something here to grab you and control you and put you in a low frequency cage, or it's trying to. And whether you listen or not is really up to you. And no, low frequency people don't rule anybody. They don't rule me. They want to tell you they're in charge, but they certainly don't rule me. Maybe they rule you if that's your dream. But as far as I'm concerned, they don't even rule the toilet that I use every morning. Personally, I think they're I think they're a bunch of clowns, and I don't choose to listen to them.
Yeah. People, thoughts, governments, organizations only have as much power over us as we give them. It's that simple. And I've seen there's a couple of comments like AI went back in time and is changing the world. Low frequency people rule as well. Like Lorenzo said, if you believe it, okay, that's true. It's not true for the world. This is I think this is one of the big things that some people are missing, right? It's only true for you. It's not true for the rest of the world at all. Like, seriously, I mean, and even if you're in a country like Australia, America, Canada, US, then there might be a lot more people with your point of view. But go to the Philippines, go to the Congo. Like, they're in different worlds. So just because you believe something's true, like AI is changing the world, it doesn't mean it's true. These are all stories, and the biggest thing to think about is, where did this information come from? That AI is doing this, that AI is taking over, that, all this time travel stuff, yes, we have the Mandela effect, which I'm still not sure what that is, but all these stories about, they've got, the, what was it called? The chronovision, back in the 1500s, and then Project Looking Glass and Trump the time traveler, right? With Baron von Trump, all this stuff. Like that's just stories. Yes, the book. That book popped up, what, 2016, I think. That the Baron von Trump, where was it before that? We don't know that it existed.
Yeah.
It could have been created with a date put in it and made to look old. Like this is the thing, is we get all this information and it's only true for us if we take it on and believe it's true. And the
Mhm.
thing about that is that means we're not making a decision, right? We're judging, we're in judgment. Someone says this is true and we're judging that, okay, they're correct and this is the truth, which means we stop thinking. We can't actually make our own decision unless we have at least 3 points of view. Like, you just can't, otherwise you're being told something. So just, remember, every thought that we have, and AI is bad or the government's bad or look what Trump's doing, there's always different points of view, right? That always is. And if you lock into one of them as truth, you've started to create that. So if it happens, then we go back to the old saying, right? It's all your fault.
Yeah. I mean, what if you're supposed to be a higher energy being living with less food, let's say, living with less possessions, living with more love, living more in nature, things like that? I mean, why not see the potential of growing into something beyond what can be controlled? They're trying to control your food, or they're trying to control your money, or they're trying to control your jobs. You get to, as an intelligent being, find a way to get out of that control. Or if you're playing in that control, like let's say you keep your job, or you still want to eat your eggs or whatever, then find a way to do it such that you're not imprisoned by it. To find a way to find that you're increasing your intelligence by it. Campbell and I have talked many times how we've dropped so much of our life and moved on just to see what's coming next. And by dropping what you don't like, whatever that is, other options will show themselves. I do think we're endless beings. I do think we have infinite intelligence if we use it. Nothing is there, like use it or lose it. So if you get a chance, what if humans were designed by AI? Like, who cares, Simon? If you're a real guy, Mr. King, like what's that got to do with anything? What's in your heart, Simon? What do you want to do with your life? How would you like to create? How is that helping you? How is that helping the group? Right? How is that helping you feel love? How is that helping you with your children? How is that helping you grow your fruit? Right? All of these questions, it's like if you start to look at the real, I mean, it's an interesting question, don't get me wrong, but what if we weren't designed by AI? To me, I feel our energy is what's free, and we come here to create. And like Campbell said, what is this dream? Why are you here? I think it's a question most people don't ask themselves. And sometimes you can't know where you're going unless you know what the game is for you. Like maybe everyone should take 10 minutes and sit down and go, why am I here? Like Campbell and I did a great video, which you guys can still find, from AI to I am. I think it's more intelligent to go, I am a loving being. I am a good family man. I am an artist. I am a dancer, whatever you want to put it in. I am a man who doesn't give an F what funny politicians named Baron von Trump ever say, and then the next time you hear something, it'll like water off a duck, as they say. It'll just go away, and you'll go back to your orchard or your wife or or your music or your painting, and move from there.
Yeah, I mean, so much of this world that we think is real, well, everything in this world is perceived, man. It's only real, again, if
Mm.
we make it real. And we did a show, went up yesterday, I think it went up, talking about, you have to create a space for something new to come in. If we're constantly filling our heads with all this information and stuff that's coming to us, and that, this is what they want, right? Our attention. So then we're not looking at the inside. But all this stuff coming from the outside, if we believe it, then we make it true for ourselves. We're the ones that have to live that life. We're the ones that has to go through that experience. And it's not the whole world, right? You're the only one going through your life. And as far as, are we AI? Well, all we really know is that we're alive now and we're experiencing what we're experiencing. We can't prove much else, really. Like it's just our experience. It's so your experience isn't everyone else's experience. And people love to be in groups, right? And to get confirmation from the outside world and from other people. And am I doing the right thing? Am I good? Am I successful? Tell me outside world. Outside world's got nothing to do with it. Like success just to one person might be to have, to raise 4 children really well and have a nice home. Success to someone else might be to build a company that frees people and helps them. Another person might be to rule the world by trying to take over all the companies and turn them into country, all this kind of stuff, right? Everyone has something different in their mind that success is, and that's because everyone's different. Everyone's got different thoughts. So you don't have to keep up with the outside world. You don't have to be successful in anyone's eyes but your own. And the thing is, once you do that, then other people, you'll be influencing the outside world then, right? You'll be showing another version of what success is because people will see you happy. So this is why we're always saying go inside. Like, what is it that you want? Like Lorenzo said, why are you here? What are you doing? What's the point of all this? Do you want to get to, your 80th or 90th birthday lying in that hospital bed with not much physical, strength left and go, if only I did this. Oh my God, I buggered it up. Like we've only got one chance at this, right? As far as we know. So we may as well, live to our best now, right? Like as far as we perceive it to be, not what the outside world wants, because it's all just, like I said, it's distraction. It's just there because they want your attention, because the Lites, because once they've got it, they can use you to create the world that they want.
Yeah, like why are you here? Everyone, maybe in some of the comments, I am here because this is who I am. I mean, I'd love to start to see more comments like that from people. Like, who wants to be the man or woman, whoever these people are in the group, that are telling people they can't do things? Sorry, you're doing this because you're a bad man, or you're doing this for the money, or you like, who in F wants to be that person in a room that grabs someone that's about to dance and say, oh, you can't do that silly dance, or you shouldn't do that, that horrible paint. Like, why would you, like, what does your heart feel like when you share this sort of stuff? What does it feel like when you grab someone and want to bring them down to a lower vibration because you're afraid they're going to get away from you and live a happy life? Why not join the people that are saying, like, why not ask the question, you can live a free life, you can decide what you want to do, you can build your own luck, you can live without all this nonsense. How do you do that? Like where's your curiosity? Where's your desire for more? Where's your desire for this next world and another life? Do you really want to become an old curmudgeon of a man or a woman sitting around complaining about the world and pointing fingers and blaming and all kinds of weird stuff like that? Or would you rather be dancing in the world of wonder, laughing in the community, enjoying children if that's what you want to do, enjoying good food if that's what you want to do, living in the magic of the moment beyond what you've been told is possible, using more than 100% of your brain. I'd say using everything you have, your full intuitive powers of wonderment and growth. Be like children and dance. Exactly, Frida Lefel. Why not live that way? I mean, that's an amazing suggestion, maybe one of the best I've seen so far today, right? It's like, go out. Remember what it was like when you were small, a little boy or a little girl. Remember what it was like to dance. Remember what it was like to create and to play. Don't sit here and be an old man or an old woman bent over their computer telling the group or the class how they have to fall into the the shithole of AI garbage. Come on already. Really. It's like I don't get people that want to do that at all, even if you're real. It's like, why would you want to do that to your family or your friends or your children if you have them? Makes no sense to me.
Exactly right. That's why we've got teachers and politicians. Come on, get in your lane. I mean, the reason people do that is because that's who they hang around with, right? That's where all the information they get is they're influenced by people telling them they can't do it, and they want to be part of the group, right? Because it feels easier if you've got people in the outside world supporting you, and it feels easier. Doesn't mean it is easier, because I'd say it's much harder, because you're going to wake up in the same place tomorrow, because clearly you can't do anything, right? You don't have power. It's the system that does. So you live your day, you go to sleep, you wake up, same day, right? Groundhog Day, right? Living it over and over and over. And you're telling yourself, see, look, my life is proof. Nothing can change. We can't change anything. But the trick is you are changing it every single day. You're just changing it to the
Oh,
same thing because you're not changing your thoughts. You keep thinking the same thought, you're going to keep creating the same
mm,
reality, and it's going to seem like you're going round and round in circles. But this is the thing. What's that saying? There's three types of people. Those who do things, those who talk about doing things, and those who wonder what things just happened. So if people are out there doing
yeah, what the fuck
things,
happened?
let them do things. And if that triggers you, ask yourself why. Why do I want to stop other
Mm,
people having the best life that they can have? Why do I want to stop other people achieving their dreams? Why do I keep saying I want the world to be better, but when I see people trying to make their own life better, I have to tell them they can't do it? That's the problem
yeah,
is you, just as far as getting triggered. If you get triggered by something, it's got nothing to do with the person who said the words that triggered you. It's got everything to do with
no,
you. And this is life,
one of
always reflected back at you. Why am I triggered? Why did this happen to me? What's the lesson here? How do I go forward into more of what I want to experience? These are the real questions, right? Rather than, oh my God, is Trump going to do this? Is AI going to do this? Is blah blah. And don't get me wrong, it's a good story. Like I'm obviously watching it. I'll make videos about it, but it's a story. It's not my
yeah,
life. It's not something that's affecting me unless I let it. It's just a story I'm watching, man. And we're in the finale, or are we in the montage? I think we're in the montage. We're about to hit the finale, right? Everything's going really fast at the moment, right? It's like Rocky when he's training, the do 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 do. We're in the montage, and we, which is great, right? Because we get to choose what finale we want, and that's what I'm pretty sure that's what's going on at the moment. Everyone's questioning their ideals, their beliefs, and that's the way we change. We change, the reality.
yeah. I mean, there's still some silly comments, people talking about this is going to happen and that's going to happen. I mean, I don't know if you want to live in that certain reality. Alvar Billy, you made a good comment about ask the doctor if a good life is right for you. It's like I asked my father a couple weeks ago, how's he doing? And literally his answer was, I don't know yet. I'm seeing the doctor next week. It's like, okay, you know, and he was serious. I'm just talking to my father, and I'm basically saying, "How's life? How are you doing, Dad?" Like I'm asking, "How is he feeling?" He's getting up there. He's almost 90 now, and he goes, "I don't know yet. I'm gonna ask the doctor how I'm doing." And that's a really, really sad. Like I'm going, that's just sad. To not even understand how you are and who you are and what's going on. You need an outside source to tell you how you are. How's it going? I mean, all these people that want to go live in the AI world, good for them. David, you want to go live when everything's going to run your life in the future? Enjoy. Everything is going to run a certain sort of system that's all digital. It's not real. I had an idea, and I would like to do maybe a video with this with Campbell. What if AI and digital realm is purgatory? I wonder if people thought about that. What if that's the purgatory of life? It's like, you're making these digital recordings, you're making a digital voice recording, you're sending these messages, but they're not really real. Like you can't grab them, you can't live with them, you can't eat them. It's just a reflection, like what's in the cell phone and what's on the TV, even what's on the computer you're watching right now, if you're watching this on a computer. And I would say it's kind of a purgatory in that it's not good and it's not bad, you just don't get anywhere. Kind of sit there and
Mm,
rot while you're eaten by the, if you like, by the loosh, by the monsters that stress you, right? Like every time they point something at you, they go stress, stress, and you go, oh my goodness, and so you emote this stress, and maybe that's what's being eaten while you're being distracted into being an idiot. And by idiot, I mean not being loving. I'll just replace that. And that's what I mean by not loving. By not being, you're not being loving, then I think you're not really being alive. That would be my interpretation of life.
mm. And sorry about my lighting. I've lost my camera, and I know I'm very dark. I'm not sure why. I've got lights on everywhere and the sun in my face, but I'm like zoning in and out, right? But yeah, I mean, this is really, the crux of it all, and we kind of bang on about this a lot. Like when it gets down to it, whatever you believe, you're going to perceive, right, and conceive. Like whatever the way that you think that the world runs is the way that your world is going to run. If the politicians, are the bad people, and they're they've got you, and the tax is keeping us down, and it's a slave planet. And guess what? It's true for you, not for anyone else. You're the one that gets to choose that. You're the one that's keeping you in your box. So if you want to get out of that's where it's got to start. You got to change the way you look at the world. I've got another channel called Spiral Up, and the first video on that channel is, what is this place? Is it a good place or a bad place? Because to me, unless you get that question sorted, it's the foundation for every other thought we have, right? If the world's a bad place and it's a prison planet, then everything that you think of, so everything that you create, is going to be based on that as the foundation, right? So can you live an amazing life, live outside the system, make all your dreams come true if you're a slave and controlled by the economic system, by the political system, by AI, by all this stuff? No, you've given all your power away, right? But if you believe that you're the creator and you're just in this world, not of this world, and it's all just information for you to consider, then you can create whatever you want. So this box, that everyone keeps talking about, and, it definitely exists, but it's created by us. It's not like someone creates a box and picks up our soul or our avatar and drops it in. That's impossible. Like that we can't do that, right? We can't like pick someone's brain or their mind and throw it in a box. It's impossible, right? We create the box, and we also burn the box if that's what we want to do. Someone did say before, how do you live outside the system, or can you? I'm not sure what the question was, but yeah, you can. The system really has no, influence on my life at all much anymore. I mean, I work for myself, which helps, so I'm not sort of in that system. But as far as all this stuff, I've got speeding tickets and stuff like this. I don't pay them, because I'm not the person they're asking for money for. And then you can look into you can look into anything, and there's ways to get around everything. But I guess the question is, do you want to spend your time on fighting the system, which is really giving it energy, or just ignoring it and going forward and creating something new? And this is the thing. Most people are stuck and won't take that chance or that option because of fear what they're going to lose. How will I live? How will I pay my bills? How fear and all these questions of the fear are the system. They are the system. How am I going to survive in the system if I leave the system is really the question most people ask themselves, right? How am I going to pay for my groceries? How am I going to have a house? That's the system. Like, if you want to be out of the system, you've got to think completely different. You've got to understand you're the power, you're free, your divine spirit that was created perfect, and it's your game. So go out there and play it as you want to. Like all this system stuff, it only really exists if you believe it. There's people living outside the system everywhere, right? And then that just means they're living free. They don't even consider the system.
Or dance through the system, whatever. And then someone asks the question, what are you going to do next? I don't think it's a question of asking someone else what they're going to do next. It's what are you going to do next? No one can tell you how to live your life. We did a video which I wanted to entitle "Death to Provider," but we titled it, letting go of things. It's like if everyone's had a chance of having that experience when they're almost dead, or they almost had an accident, or they had a serious disease, and they were almost, or they watched someone. What are you considering at the time? Are you considering what you're going to do in the system next? Are you considering, if you're going to make it to the bank before it closes? Are you considering if you're going to buy a second car? No, you're going, well, I hope I told that person I love them enough. I hope I saw, enough, sunsets and sunrises. I've almost died a few times, and all I'm thinking about is, did I tell my wife I love her enough? Did I say I'm sorry for some of the bad things I've done? Oh my goodness, I hope I get to breathe because I want to eat another peach, before I'm gone. You're not thinking of any of this garbage that people seem to want to bring up and tell us about, like Australia is this and Japan is that and Canada is that. It's all system garbage. And if that's what you want to live in, as Campbell said, dozo is the Japanese way of go for it. Up to you, be my guest is another way of doing that. But really, and someone also asked if Campbell and I would do this if we didn't make any money. That's the best joke I've heard all day. I've been doing this for 15 years, and I think what I have in the end is a few loans I still haven't paid off as a final result so far. Couldn't get over that, but that's where I am right now. So that answers that question. I hope straight out. It's like there's a bazillion better ways to make money. I'll tell you that, than to try and convince people they're fantastic. That's almost a loser's game for some strange reason. Is to tell people that they're amazing and they can be superheroes and they can live the best life possible and they don't have system. Ooh, nobody pays you for that. Tell people you're going to help them lose weight with a pill and you'll be a millionaire tomorrow. So, basically and, come to our events, share this with us. We do online stuff as well. If you really want to put this to the test, join the community, come see what we're doing. Let's get together and see how, through shared stories, which I feel is the best way yet, and shared experiences, not telling anyone what to do, how we can make ourselves more energetically attuned, let's put it that way, to a better way to be alive, to tune yourself, to tone yourself. I have some suggestions about that I can share in a moment. But, what it really comes down to is to move beyond what you think is not possible to the impossible, let's say. Why not give it a shot? You're only here for so long.
Indeed, as I keep fading back into the shadows. Sorry about that. This was a good comment by April Kitten. The only way to deal with an unfree world is to become so absolutely free that your very
Mm,
existence is an act of rebellion. Like, this is the thing. Like, everyone wants to be out of the system. Everyone wants the system to collapse. Everyone wants the monetary system to collapse. Oh, it's
yeah.
fiat money. Oh, it's this and this. But only only if you follow those rules, really. A couple of people mentioned, all caps names, bills of exchange. Yeah, these are all options, right? But they're, to me, they're also stepping stones, because you're still within the
Mm,
system, fighting the system,
mm,
saying, okay, well, you've given me this bill, or you've fined me, so I'm going to show you how your rules tell you that that's wrong. But it's their rules. You can then move to a place where, well, who gets to tell me what to do? If there's no
mm,
victim, why are these policy officers even talking to me? Like, I pay for the
mm,
roads every time I buy petrol. I've paid for my car. Why do I have to pay to drive my car on my road? This is the
mm,
higher thing. Like, they have no power unless we give it to them. And this is another thing that
mm,
holds people in there. Oh, but that's scary. What if I have to go to court? What if, well, how bad do you want it, I guess? But again, you also don't have to go to court. You don't,
no.
because you're a spirit. You're a being. Like, you're not your body. You're not the outside world, which is really what they're telling you, right? Your avatar has been naughty in our construct,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
therefore we're gonna slap it on the wrist and make it give us money. You can rise above that, but like I said, all of this is a ladder. Definitely, if you're into this, have a listen to some law stuff, just for the fact that it'll tell you that it's all done. It's all based on
Mm,
someone who's just like you, someone who got born to parents just like you, has come out, has lived their life, and for some reason they think that they get to tell everyone else how to live. These are the rules, and if you don't follow my rules, you got to give me money, or I'm going to lock you up. Who gave this person that power? Answer:
yeah,
us.
I know.
And we keep doing
Us.
it every time that we keep being scared of their threats, or that we keep believing their rhetoric,
Yeah.
or following their bloody, path down to see what they want. We give them the power. So the way to take the power back is to just understand that they're just a bunch of idiots, and they only have power if we give it to them. Like, how can anyone
Yep.
be more powerful than you? How does anyone get the right to tell anyone to live when you don't? None of this makes any sense.
No, that quote was beautiful in that we fat chug. The creator gave you a temple you're saying was hijacked by sinister minds. It's like, if you live to show that that's not true, maybe that's why you're here. If you just sit around telling people, nothing you can do, let's say, I'm paraphrasing a lot of this, nothing you can do because of filling your own blank. Why are you here? Maybe we came down to share how to get beyond. Everyone knows what's right and wrong in their guts and in their heart. Everyone knows these systems are garbage and shitty and not fair, so to speak. Everyone knows they print money and it's not really real. Everyone knows it's all bullshit, the medicine and most of it anyways, at least most of the people here. But what do you do about it? Just talking about it, I think that's the purgatory. You can put a million people in a room and they can all talk about how bad the system is until they're dead. But if nobody's doing anything about it, then nothing's changing. There's just a million people agreeing with each other, like clucking hens or clucking chickens in a coop, saying, "Oh, it's a bad system. Cluck, cluck, cluck. Oh, it's a horrible system. Oh, AI is coming. Oh, we've been created. Oh my goodness. Cluck, cluck. Oh, nothing you can do. Oh, it's all about money." Sure, but then if that's why you're here, to be a chicken clucking in the system, great. But if you're here to do something about it, and even if it's just to be different in your own life, as that quote said, I think, as Campbell said before, there is one person you can change and one life you can change and one way you can make different. And all of us have that by looking in a mirror and looking at the ugly face that's looking back at them, or the beautiful face, depending on what you think about yourself, and make those changes for yourself and see what happens, irregardless, or regardless, I guess is the right way of putting it, of what anyone else is doing, saying, or being. End of, that's the end of that challenge,
Yeah,
or the
and a
beginning
couple
of
of
that
people
challenge.
saying, a couple of people saying we're in the beast system already. Again, if you believe it, doesn't mean I am.
Yeah.
It means you are. Like, this is the thing, guys. People run around going, we're in the beast system. No, you
Mm.
are in the beast system. I'm not. I'm
Yeah.
not. Doesn't affect my life at all. Like, it's all a show. It's all BS run by people who have no morals, can't think, and just want to basically control people. I do not live in a beast system. I don't. And which means if I don't, you don't have to. And the only reason you do is because you believe you do. You're creating it.
Mm.
And again, then you sort of go out and you're like, this is my belief. It sucks. How many people can I get to agree with me? Because then at least I'll feel better living in this world that sucks, because there'll be other people that agree with me. But tomorrow I'm going to wake up
Mm.
and the world's still going to suck. It's not going to actually create any change. This is literally what we've been talking about the whole live stream. You get to create it, and you get to ignore it as well. Choice. This is what we have, is choice. We get to, choose how we act on something, or we can react, right? Just keep acting the same way over and over. Responsibility, which is respondability. How are we responding? And I saw, there was a few
Mm.
comments, like silence
Mm.
is, complacency is complicity, silence is agreeing, all this and that's true. You have to speak your truth. If someone says, "Hi, how you going? I saw you do something that I don't like, so I'm going to have to, you know, give you this fine or whatever." If you agree that they have the power to do all this, and you run down and you're like, "Oh my God, I'm so bad, I've got to pay this." Well, that's true, but these people only have power because the majority believe them. And when you ask the majority, the outside, well, they're going to say, "Oh, you have to do it, or they'll lock you away. They'll do this, they'll do that." It's a beast system, don't you know?
Don't
It's
you
not.
know?
And this is the
Don't you
thing
know?
is, everyone pretty much who watches my channel, they want to change, right? They want the world to change. They want it to be better. They want their experience to be better. So why do you keep thinking that it's bad? Why do you keep, telling yourself, "I can't do it because look at these constraints. Look at these people. Look at the money system. Look at the politics. Look at what they're doing." Sure, look, but don't take it on. Again, the power is in you. And this is the
Yeah, well,
thing, like, you're so powerful that if you believe that you're powerful, then you are. But also, if you believe that
mm,
you have no power, then you
then you
don't.
don't. Why
Mm.
not play a game with yourself? Drop needs, whatever they are. One need, then the next need, then the next need. Maybe you need nothing. I like what Alka88 said. "I'm not what you think I am. You are what you think I am." That's just beautiful and very true. Usually if you're judging someone, you're only seeing your life from your perspective. You're only seeing who you are. You're only seeing your own limitations. You're only seeing what you think is not possible. You're only seeing what you think is the ultimate of the cages that you can't get out of. I see some really silly comments about some of them here. But why not drop all your needs? See where you go. Maybe you don't need the big house or the big car. Maybe you don't need that extra helping of cheesecake. Maybe you don't need to be afraid of paying your parking tickets. Maybe you don't need this. See what happens. And if a challenge comes, good. Where do heroes come from? Heroes come from facing these challenges. Do you think like all of these heroes and all these movies that you like, well, the government said I can't do it, so I'm not. Well, that would be a boring movie, wouldn't it? Sorry, they told me I can't be my mother in jail, no particular reason, because she couldn't pay for her loaf of bread. Sorry, nothing I can do. It's the B system, nothing I can do. I think that's a way of being lazy and being a coward, if I may say so, because I've been there. It's like drop your needs, see how that can make you faster, let's say. And by faster, I mean seeing more potential or more ways to be alive. And sometimes you just have to, as Campbell said, stop and drop what you think is not possible. And then maybe it's after that new things become possible. You really have to let go of what you don't like first, in my opinion, one shore to swim to the next, and then the potential of new comes. It doesn't happen while you're sitting on your couch, hoping that it's going to be a comfortable move to tomorrow, or else you're not going anywhere, because then basically you'll be on your couch not going anywhere.
Yes. And of course, that people are still fighting for their limitations, going,
Yeah.
no, it's definitely a beast system. Again,
Yeah.
that's not my experience,
Good.
man. It's not. I've been, I've traveled Australia. I've traveled the world. I don't have a 9 to 5. I don't, I just live my life. I don't have any interaction with the government at all, really. Like it's got no effect on me. So I'm not living in a beast system. It's you that are. And the comment, I am not what you think I am. You are what you think I am.
Beautiful, huh?
Yes. But that just means that, just to get that right, it's like if I think someone else is in a beast system or blah, 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 then yes, I am. But what people think about me, it has no effect on me at all unless I take it on. So I'm not what other people, I just want to make that distinction that you are not what other people think about you. They are what they think about you, right? If you take that on and you listen to them and you go, oh my God, maybe I am this and this, and then you'll become it. But this is the thing, like you don't know how people think about you unless you ask them, I guess. So their thoughts about you have no bearing on you at all, just like their thoughts of what this place is has no bearing on you at all. Their thoughts about what you can and can't achieve in life have no bearing on you at all, unless you let it, unless you take that into you and let someone else control you, which is where how it starts, right? One person controlling you. They tell you you're dumb and you believe it.
Yeah.
But you don't have to. And other people have said, yes, we're born into this system. Yes. Of course, we know, right? We're born, admiralty law, they prick the blood in your heel. They give you the birth certificate before they give you the certificate of live birth, blah, 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 blah. But that's just a game. We don't have to play. You are sure you might be born in there, but you don't have to stay there. It's like school, right? Yeah, most people have been sent to school. So as a child, you don't have much choice, but you don't have to stay there. You can actually go through the grades and leave, right? And learn more and get out and live your life. Like all these things, we all get put in positions where we have to, for a time, do things that we'd probably rather not do, but it's our choice if we stay there or not. This is the thing. This is why self-education is so important. Learn what
Really is.
what these people want to do, because they are trying to control us 100%. Look around. Of course they are. But we have to let them. This is the point. We have to let them. Right? You always have a choice. Even if someone's got a pew to your head, you still have a choice. Always you have a choice.
Maybe it's a dream we're living in. I mean, maybe from what I've heard, it's energy first and not physical. There's people that keep arguing about the physical and the taxes and this. Yes, if you go to an airport, you're going to be in a limiting sort of way and traveling through, and I don't like it at all. Of course, travel or don't. If you don't like it, don't go. If you do go, find a way through it energetically so that it doesn't bother you. Last time I went through the airport with my wife, and they were feeling me up, so to speak, through the those microwave things that I didn't want to go through. While they were all bothering me and looking at me and yelling at me, my wife snuck around the other side. She was waving at me from the other side of the barrier. So she took advantage of the distraction at the time where they were bothering me because I didn't want to go through it, just to sneak through without being bothered, right? So that's how she did it at the time. Everyone has to find their own way through the parasites, through the system. This is where the intelligence part comes in. You can't ask anyone what's going to happen until you get into a situation and you're there. You have to trust yourself that when you go to something that sounds challenging in your head right here, when you're talking about all the bad things that are potentially going to happen, the guy that keeps telling Campbell he's going to be in trouble because of his taxes and all this other garbage, it's like, what kind of guy are you if you're even real? Do you work for the tax company? Really, do you work for the government and taxes that's trying to impose, like, tax just means to cause pain, to toil someone, just so you know. So you're giving us all this bullshit and all these rules. Maybe you're real, maybe you're not. I get the feeling, I'm going to be straight out that you're either very limited in your thinking, and I'll be polite about that, or you're just a bot trying to take away the conversation from where we're going, which is to be free through the artificiality of what they say is intelligence, which is not, if you use your intelligence to see the artificial side of things and to move in a better way for yourself and to take a chance at, yes, you can fail. Yes, bad things can happen to you. You can get up in the morning, go outside and be hit by a big chicken, whatever. But the bottom line through it all is to go, is to go through the challenges because you trust in your own higher power, your own wisdom, your own way to be alive, so that you can go beyond your behind and move into something better for yourself.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's all belief. Like I said before, if you want to fight for your limitations, yeah, man, you get to keep them.
Mm.
Do I pay tax? No. Have I been pulled up by police? Yes. I've been pulled up driving a car, an unregistered car, and I had no license. Yes, it's happened. That time, I basically refused to comply. So they threatened me, right? Oh, okay, we're going to throw you in a cell and we're going to do this. And they did. They put me in this little holding cell and they're like, oh, well, if you don't give us your thumbprint and rah, 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 then you're going to stay here overnight. And I'm like, okay. And the guy walked out and I just sat there and I thought, no, I'm walking out of here now. There's no way I'm staying here. I'm leaving. And I kid you not, as soon as I did that, a brand new police officer that I hadn't seen walked through the door. Really nice. How you going, mate? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, we just need to do this and this and you can leave. And I went, okay, let's do that. And I don't know, signed something that was stupid, under duress. And I was literally out of the police station in a couple of minutes. Walked home. I've never paid the bill, right? So that's my reality. So, we all get to live our reality, Fortnite family. So if you believe that, these people have power over you and that's how you're going to act. That's how you're going to act. You're going to give them your power from the start. But I mean, that's not my experience of life. I've never had any problems. Never been put in jail, in a little holding cell for half an hour, whatever it was. Never had tax people come after me, and if this ever happens, I know where all the information is to prove that what they're trying to do is false anyway. But I'm not even going there. I'm not even entering that conversation. Like, the conversation is, who are you, and why do you believe you have power over me? You're just a human being, just like me. You don't get my power. So, again, like, and this kind of proves it, right? That you get exactly what you believe. Okay, you don't have to pay taxes automatically. You can go to your boss. Anyone can do this, and you can say, I self-manage my tax. I'm a self-managed tax person. Do not take tax out of my income. And they have to comply. They have to.
Yeah, really.
It's simple.
Go work for yourself.
Exactly. Yeah. How about you work for yourself? Yeah. How about we stop supporting the system that we say we don't want by working for it?
Yeah, really. I used to, when I was doing invoices for a company I was running, I used to put up, like, people would always ask me to include the taxes because they had to pay and they had numbers. And I would put on my invoices all applicable taxes included. And I just didn't apply any taxes, but I put all applicable taxes included, right? And in my dream, there were no taxes applied, right? So that was one way to sneak through the system for me. right? And it really just depends on what you feel like doing for yourself. In Mind the Gap says homework. I'll give you some homework. Recapitulate your life. That's the best homework, I think, for anybody. Understand yourself. Know thyself. Once again, the Oracle at Delphi. First thing, know thyself. I think this is the thing most people aren't getting. Sit down, write down a list of everyone you've ever met. Go through every interaction. It could take you 10 years to do this, but it doesn't matter. You are the creator. Campbell has said over and over and over in this chat, this is his intelligence. He goes, I'm making my life, not you. I'm controlling my life, not you. And he's even giving you some specific examples of how that's worked wonderfully for him. So if people feel they can't do that, what he's showing, my estimation, is how if you understand yourself and you understand your abilities and you understand your power, you can get beyond this AI or this artificial intelligence that's trying to control you by simply saying, no, I control myself. And if you don't know how, and you don't know you can, and you don't know where you've given up that power, that's what a recapitulation can show you, is from your very first breath to the one you just took, how you, even when you were 2, 3, or 4, gave up your power, so how you can reclaim it, and then you can be free, and you can see maybe what Campbell is saying in a clearer light by seeing how you haven't done that yet, but you still can.
Yeah, totally. And
There you go.
I'm not
Right?
picking on you, Fortnite family. I'm just trying to get through the message that if you believe that the world is that way, that's exactly what you're going to experience. The reason that
Yeah.
I experience something different is I believe the world is a different way than what you believe. That's it. So we're not picking on anyone. We're just trying to say that people in these chats and who watch our channels and things, they always want change. They want the world to be better. They want to have better experiences, better relationships, less stress, all this stuff.
Mm.
And you can, but you've got to let go. And this is what our last video was about as well. You've got to let go. You've got to let the old die for something new to manifest. You've got to create a space. And this is science, right? If you have a vacuum and you put a hole in it, that empty space will fill instantly. That's how this realm works. Like nature abhors a void, right? So this is the thing. Create that, like start questioning yourself. And like Lorenzo said, like, recapitulation means to go through your life, to look at all the people you knew, all the situations you had with them, and reassess: is that even
Yeah.
real, or is it just a, is that just a perspective we've taken? Dad was horrible because he was always grumpy and never had time for me, and I'm a poor little child. And see, that's exactly why I'm like I am. Well, if you've been a parent, maybe your dad was overworked, maybe his parents, everyone else has had an experience, even our parents.
Mm.
They've been raised by people. We don't know what their life was like, what they were taught, what challenges they had. People are normally grumpy for a reason. It's not a personal thing. And you can learn as much from that situation, as far as going forward, as you can let it inhibit you. You can learn even by learning what you don't want to be. My dad was like this, so I'm not like that. I mean, I know I'm not. I used to get hit. I was a child of the 70s where, you know, parents used to hit their kids. I used to get hit with a belt. How to take the belt off. I didn't like that. So I've never, ever, ever hit my children, ever. I mean, obviously they're men now, so it's not going to start, but I've never disciplined them through hitting them because I decided that's not what I wanted to propagate going forward. So I learned this was something bad, so I'm not going to do it. So another example. So we can learn from everything. It just depends. Do we want to? Do we want to trust ourselves? Do we want to trust that we are as powerful as we fear we might be? Right? Because a lot of people fear the power inside them. What would happen if I was all powerful? What would happen if I could create my reality? I could create my world. What would I create? Would it be good? Would it be bad? Maybe I'll just follow everyone else. It seems a lot easier, right? Yeah, and this is the thing,
You
right?
know,
When it gets down to it, you're the power. You're the point of power. You're the point of creation. So you can either embrace that or not.
what if we are creative beings? Imagine that for a moment. What if we do
Uh,
create our reality? Instead of arguing it, what if we are creative beings? All right. And you're going to sit at the end of your days, in my opinion. And I think that's what you see when you have these death experiences. that you are a creative being creating your time here. So imagine you're going to have to point that finger back at yourself at the end of your days for all of this nonsense, all of this shit, all of all of these horrible experiences that you believe you had no power over, and go, oh my goodness, no, I had power over all of it. And instead, I kept, blaming and shaming and guilting and reliving it and reliving it and reliving it simply because I had decided not, as Campbell has said again, to let something die. You have to, for new, to kill the old. And it's not a bad thing. It's just simply a way of letting go of something that doesn't serve you anymore and asking for what you deserve, serving yourself something new. Wooden spoon survivor. I think I should. I think I didn't get hit. I probably should have been hit more. I was a spoiled boy. So, we'll go to the opposite. I think a wooden spoon in my ass would have helped me when I was growing up. So really, it's all perspective.
Yeah, man, I got wooden spoons broken off me, man. Like, literally hit me so hard the bloody broke this wooden spoon. But the interesting thing I found out growing up is when I hit about 13, I was bigger than my dad. And the funny thing is, as soon as you get bigger and stronger than your dad, they tend to stop trying to hit you. That's quite an interesting lesson. Like that taught me that it's got nothing to do with teaching us and how to live. It's got to do with frustration. That's why parents hit their kids, because they get frustrated. And so that's why I've never hit my children, right? Because it's got nothing to do with discipline at all, in my opinion. But there you go. And we're all wooden spoon survivors, right? And this is the thing, even though that happened, that hasn't made us bad people. That hasn't made us, crazy people running around trying to hurt. It's just an experience, and we learn from it, right? So, I just learned, well, I'm not going to pass it on. That's not the world I want to create. And there we go. So we are pardon, all parents are insane.
All parents are insane.
Of course they are, until you become one, right? And when you become a parent, you're like, okay, now I see it, right?
Yeah,
like our parents, and we know, like, my parents were from the 40s, right? They were from the war years. Things were harder back then. It was normal. Teachers, I got hit by teachers, man. I got caned across the fingers and stuff. It was normal back then. But because we can learn from that and go, that's bad, we can now make that not normal going forward. So this is the power we have. So if you like our content, and thank you to everyone for being here, and thanks for all the very nice comments, saying that you do enjoy what we're talking about. We have a locals community. You'll find the link below. Come and check it out. There's free content. There also is a paid content section, but there's lots of free stuff if you just want to have a look at what we're doing. And of course, Florida in April, we're going to do a 2-day workshop event.
5 and 6.
5 and 5th and 6th of April in Florida. So if you're around that area, sorry.
Controlling the Matrix and Your Superpowers. That is going to be the title of our event.
Yeah, so it's a lot like this talk. We're going to start talking off with, what is this place? Where are we? What have they done to us, kind of thing? Why are we like we are? And then we're going to break that, like, okay, who are we and how do we control this matrix, right? This system, this whatever, reality, whatever you want to call it. So that's going to be the thing. It's going to be interactive conversation, with obviously the view on getting everyone to a point where they're starting to move forward and they're starting to believe in their power, trust their power, and so they're starting to get better results. So that is not set up yet. It will be in the next few days. So we'll let you know when the link for that is up, explaining everything and where you can get your tickets. So keep your eyes peeled, but definitely come across to locals, check us out, and you'll also find an email address below. So if you've got any questions, you can always email.
Yeah. Any questions? If you want to join the event in advance, let us know. full4power@gmail.com. Send me an email. Already a few people have joined the event coming up. We're going to have space for 100 people, so get on the list. If you have any suggestions, questions, or ideas, we're happy to hear. And one topic I want to share that I'm really going to get into with people during this conversation or during our event is luck building, how to build your own luck. That's going to be one of the major focuses I found useful, and how it can maybe answer a lot of the questions that people have through this. Because Campbell's already giving some examples quickly of how he built his luck when he was in jail that time. So luck building, a very important and very practical skill that you can do too.
Yeah, man. Like it's a superpower. You can change reality pretty quick when you are in that space. Obviously, urgency helps, right? It's like the mother, right, who comes out and her kid's under the car, and she goes, and so she just picks the car up. Like like that's the power we've got. Like these are true stories. This happens, right?
And I'm
And many more
a
like that. So
professor. Yeah, professor
yep,
noticed the tickets it's going to be 333 for 2 days. That's how much the tickets are going to be. USD 2 full days, April. Come on out. It's a symposium of intelligent contributions and sharings and stories, like the old ways and the new ways. And I can't imagine a better way for me to spend a couple of days than to share what I've learned and to see if you can pick up to your own efforts. And I've become a better man for meeting Campbell and sharing and doing these things. So I'm happy for anybody that wants to be there. And again, full4power@gmail.com, the number 4 in the middle. If you have any questions, and our page will be up over the next few days as well for the tickets.
yeah. And this whole event is kind of us doing what we talk about. Like we just sort of came up with the idea, probably 2, maybe 3 weeks ago. Oh, let's do this. That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
And then suddenly we had a place to do it, which just popped out of the ether. We've got people interested and we're going to do it. And this is literally us saying, this is what we want to create in our experience, and we're going to do it.
Just creating it.
There's no thought of how they're going to stop us. Oh my God, planes are falling out of the sky. Oh my God, it's Trump's America. Like none of that. It's just, what do we want? Like, where's our focus going? We're going to have an awesome event, meet amazing people, get some good results, and so we're going to create it. So this is literally what we're doing now, is what we're talking about.
And we'll share more specifics at the event as well, how we've powerfully created our own lives towards what we would like, away from what we haven't liked. So you can do the same for yourself.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go. So if you'd like to meet us personally, yes, join our locals. We'll also be doing live Zooms, interactive Zooms on our locals too. So you'll be able to at least talk to us, if you can't get to Florida. So keep your eyes open. Check out the links below. Join our locals. Stay awesome. Thanks for your comments. Thanks for being here. And we'll be back on the next upload, I guess. All right. Stay awesome, everyone. Bye for now.
Bye-bye. Thanks for being here and sharing.